Today, I'm authorizing the release of 1 million barrels per day for the next 6 months, over 180 million barrels.
The president's move comes as gas prices are skyrocketing, but whether there will be any relief, that remains uncertain. The national average for a gallon of gas now sits at $4.22, putting more pressure on consumers already suffering from high inflation.
I'll tell you like this, it makes my wallet a lot lighter.
President Biden blames rising prices on Russia.
Our prices are rising because of Putin's actions. There isn't enough supply.
While the pandemic and the war in Ukraine play a role, some point to the president's domestic energy policies for the drop in U.S. oil production.
I think the administration's anti-fossil fuel views are sort of like a religion. Until that policy changes, we're going to have a problem.
Victoria Coates of the American Foreign Policy Council is a former senior policy advisor to the Secretary of Energy for the Trump administration.
Everybody knows with the cancellation of the Keystone Pipeline, I mean, that was one of the first actions President Biden took. And those first actions are very carefully chosen to really set the stage for an administration. So they've had well over a year of doing this.
The president putting some of the blame on U.S. oil and gas companies, suggesting penalizing them for not producing.
I'm calling for a use it or lose it policy. Congress should make companies pay fees on wells on federal leases they haven't used in years.
No, it's ridiculous. You're just punishing the very industry that you desperately need for a critical national security reason.
There are also concerns that the plan will bring oil reserves to its lowest level since 1984, leaving the U.S. vulnerable to further shortages. Meanwhile, lawmakers debate other short-term relief efforts. Congress is considering suspending the federal gas tax, while states including Georgia and Maryland have already put a temporary halt to theirs. On the street, drivers just want the problem fixed.
It makes it difficult when you got kids that's driving and your wife's driving to work and, it's costing double.
Yeah.
It costs twice as much as it normally does.
Which is why people lined up for hours in California and Chicago, where one group gave away a free tank of gas.
Free gas, So, but it's a blessing.
Some lawmakers compare this move to putting a small Band-Aid on an open wound, and they say it could take months before we start to see prices level out. Brody Carter, CBN News.